In this video, I want to talk to you. If you're thinking about quitting YouTube, watch this video first. Trust me, I've been there. I'm not going to waste your time. Let's jump into it. And as always, I have my notes to keep myself organized because I have a tendency of rambling. Let's jump into the first one. And the first one is to hold yourself accountable. Like, if you have trouble talking to the camera, if you can't think of how you're going to write out your videos, script your videos, or if you have this thing where you're afraid to start, trust me, I've been scared. I didn't know how I was going to talk to the camera. I didn't know how I was going to do all these things like editing, figuring out how to build a brand. I get you, but I'm going to be honest with you. And I had to tell myself, this is mostly a reflection of myself. There is no excuse. There is no excuse but putting up 120%. No excuse. And I mean, I'm going to tell you, listen, I'm going to say it again. There is no excuse for putting about 120% of effort into what you do. And I had to tell myself, if I give 50%, it's my fault. If I'm not trying to get better at talking to the camera, it's my fault. You need to take accountability. This is on me. All of this here is on me. And the same thing with you. This is all on you. You need to take accountability. Improving, getting better at talking to the camera, writing better hooks, getting an idea on how you're going to cultivate better. You know, you get one chance at this. Like, seriously, you get one chance at improvement. This life, you get one chance. You got to hold yourself accountable for doing 50%. And if that's the case, don't do it. You need to really lock in and tell yourself, this is on me. I'm not the one that's getting better. I'm not the one that's improving that on my camera presence. I'm not the one that's being consistent. And if you're not, then you need to figure it out. You need to tell yourself. And I know this is tough love, y'all, but you need to hold yourself accountable. You need to take this serious, because if that's the case, just don't do it at all. And I know this is tough, but I had to give myself tough love. I went and bought a camera and I didn't do anything with it for a while. There's no excuse. There's people in this world who would love to have a Osmo Pocket 3, an iPhone 17 Pro. Like, let's be serious. Like, or even high-speed internet to be able to do this. Like, y'all need to hold yourself accountable. You have the tools. And listen to me very carefully. Forgive me if I'm real passionate right now, but this is serious. We have a lot of opportunity. We have a lot of chances to do this. And I keep telling myself, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I kept telling myself, I'm going to do it. You know what? I'm scared. I'm going to quit. Why? You need to seriously. I'm sorry, y'all. You need to seriously say to yourself, you know what? I'm going to be discerning. I'm going to create. I'm going to hold myself accountable. All right, y'all. Let's move on to the next one. I appreciate y'all. And this one right here is, I'm gonna tell you guys a quote from Eric Thomas, one of the most powerful motivational speakers I've ever heard. We want people to make guarantees to us, but we can't make guarantees to ourselves. Like, seriously, I'm gonna say it again. We want people to make guarantees to us, but we can't make guarantees to ourselves. You know, when you go to a store and you buy like a phone or a product, you got 14 days. 14 days. 14 days. And if you don't like it, you can return it. But you never demanded that from yourself. You need to seriously think about it. You need to hold yourself accountable. You need to continue to create. If you think you're gonna hit a roadblock, take a break. Take a break, no problem. Come back. Think you got a 9 to 5. Take a break, come back. Just make a schedule. You need to hold yourself to the fire and say to yourself, I'm going to make a video when I say I'm going to do it. If I got people who are subscribed to my channel, 1, 2, 3, 1,000, 1,000,000, you need to show up when they went for them, because they're there for you. You need to, and this ties back to the accountability piece. You need to hold yourself accountable, but you need to make that guarantee. The same way you got that guarantee when you want to return a product and they say, all right, 14 days, we'll do the return. No problem. You need to hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself to the fire. Tell yourself, I'm going to do I'm going to improve. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to study. I'm going to push forward. I'm going to grind. I'm going to continue to focus on bettering myself. And this doesn't necessarily have to be on YouTube. It could be, and I always talk about this, finance, health, your family, things that matter to you. You know, you need to hold yourself accountable and stay firm on that guarantee you told yourself. You say, you know what? On January 1st, I'm gonna make a New Year's resolution. I'm gonna get fit. I'm gonna save more money. I'm gonna be a better father. All those things I'm going to create on YouTube and be consistent. You need to hold yourself accountable, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm passionate, but this is what you need to make that guarantee. You need to show up for yourself, show up for your audience, show up for those people who are your loved ones, those people who are waiting for that guarantee. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's move on to the next one. Now, listen, and this is important. Low views and no subscribers, it doesn't mean to give up. You posted that video and you got 5 views. You posted that video, you got 10 views. You posted that video, you got 100 views. And I talk about this all the time. You got 100 views. I can't fit 100 people in my apartment. I can't fit 100 people in this car. You got to realize these are people who have spent the time on what you have delivered. If you want to improve, take the time and improve. But don't neglect the fact that you got 100 people who are sitting here watching your content. Like, seriously, those people are the most important thing. They are there because you made that video. They watched that video. They clicked. They returned. And this is important. Like, if someone, and I'm telling you, I know you want to quit, but if someone commented to you, somebody made a comment and said, yo, dope video. You know what I'm saying? Answer that comment. I know it's hard. You can look back at some of my videos. I got videos with 90 views, 80 views, 60 views, whatever it is. I want you to understand that doesn't mean to quit. That means to push forward. That means to get up and grind. That means to get up and make change. That means to get up and say to yourself, you know what? I'm not making any more excuses. There's no reason why you can't reach your fullest potential. And if that's 100,000 views, that's 10,000 views, that's 5,000, that's monetization, doesn't matter. There's no excuse for you to reach up to your potential. Let's move on to the next one, y'all. I need y'all to lock in. Do me a favor, drop a like on the video if you're enjoying the content, subscribe. We are right at 8,000 subscribers, and I appreciate every single one of y'all. If it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't be able to have the confidence to do what I'm doing right now. And I appreciate y'all, man. Let's move on to the next one. You know what I'm saying? And you know what you need to do? You need to change. You need to change. You say to yourself every single day, and I'm not saying make a video every single day. I'm saying every single day that I am, while I can, I'm going to try to study my camera. I'm going to try to, do some research, do some reading on how to get better at talking to the camera, or doing some research on how or what I want to do, or doing some research on how I can monetize outside of YouTube. You know what I'm saying? This world is so powerful that, and I always talk about this, you could take your phone, y'all, and build a website, a business, take money. You can send money. You could do all these things. You need to figure out how and when, you know what I'm saying? Before you get monetized, you can do all this beforehand. You can make money doing anything at this point with your phone, anywhere in the world. That is powerful. You need to change your perspective. Here's another quote. Change your attitude, change your altitude. If you're thinking about quitting, you got to be positive. You know what I'm saying? Positive is the only way. Positivity is the only way how to get out of a negative spot. I'm going to say it again. Positivity is the only way to get out of a negative spot. If you're not happy where you are, think yourself out of it. Change your perspective. Change your attitude. Change your altitude. It will change where you are. If you're at the bottom, if you think positive, you will go to the top. It's that simple. It is that simple, y'all. Let's move on to the next one. And I'm telling you, don't quit. I know this journey is hard. I know. Trust me, I've been there. But you can change. You can make your own change. You can build your own destiny. Let's move on to the next one. Now, and this one is about the daily grind. Now, the daily grind, it's not easy. And I talked about it in the previous step. You ain't got to post a video every day. You ain't got to post 6 videos, 5 videos. No. If you want to, go ahead. And that's amazing. I love that grind. But you got to think to yourself, the daily grind it comes from working towards those goals. It comes from showing up. It comes from having these conversations. It comes from, and this doesn't have to be YouTube, but I'm just using this as an example because this is what I'm working on. It comes from all of these things. Oh man, listen, and listen to me very carefully, y'all. I talk to so many different people that have so much that they want. They have so much goals and aspirations and dreams. But the thing is, the only thing that's been holding you back, or the only thing that's held me back, is myself. And no one's gonna stop me. I'm telling you, I may have to change direction. I may have to change but no one's gonna stop me. That's called pivot. You gotta pivot, man. If it's, and I understand you have what you want to do, what you want to create, but sometimes you gotta pivot, y'all. Y'all gotta pivot. You could still talk about whatever you're talking about, change direction a little bit. It's nothing wrong with that. You could still use your core dream as the message, but just package it differently. I know, when you're an artist and someone, critiques, and he's like, maybe why don't you just tweak it a little bit? There's nothing wrong with that. You could tweak it to the way you want. All right, y'all, let's move on to the next one. Now, this is important. The same way you could think about quitting, I want you to think about the power of starting. I started last year, right? And I was scared. From that video, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know where I was going. After you watch this video, click the first video on my channel. I was nervous. I was cursing. The exposure was all over the place. But let me tell you something. From that point on, I said to myself, anytime I can, every time I get the opportunity, when I can, I'm going to try to figure out a way to create. I'm going to be positive. I'm going to push forward. I'm going to start. The same way you could quit is the same way you could start. You could put that energy into starting. And there's going to be people who don't agree, and that's okay. Diversity of thought is the most powerful thing on this planet, because you know what? That's how things get better. The wheel's the same, but adding the buttons to it, adding the shape, adding the color, and that's the power of diversity of thought and starting. I want y'all to understand, there's never a perfect time to start, and that's okay. Do this messy. Do this when you're passionate. Do this when you're upset. Do this when you think like you have lost all hope. There's going to be people that are not going to like that. And that's okay. That's the power of diversity of thought and improvement and grinding and pushing past greatness. Do me a favor, y'all. If you got value out of this video, comment down below. Let me know if you have considered quitting on YouTube. Have you considered pushing forward? I want to tell you, I'm with you. I will answer every single comment. Push through. It's not going to be easy. It may take longer than what you expect. But you know what? You can, and you will. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Peace.